All right. So, yes, Vibha. In the last class, one class we already had from your class 11th. So, in that also, I had just discussed the basics of whatever is your first unit. So, see, under your first unit, you have, see, various units are there. You must have also seen part one book is there, part two book is there. So, out of part one book, unit one, I'll be starting with. Then after this, I'll be practicing mathematical physics, which is calculus, and in that we have differentiation and integration. But before that, we'll try to complete with this lesson only physical world and measurement. So among this chapter one that is there now in your NCERT, that is a very theoretical chapter. Few forces are given that we won't discuss in detail. Regarding the next part, that is dimension analysis, which is present in your chapter 2. This is very important. So dimension analysis you have to do in detail. Then error analysis is also present in chapter 2, but error analysis is not a part of your syllabus now, so we are not going to do that. Last part is measurement of length, mass, and time. See, length, mass, and time, these quantities, these are very short topic. So basically, among this lesson, what you have to study, dimensional analysis. That's it. In detail, you have to study how to make the dimensional formula, how to convert things, how to form the equation, how to form the unknown quantity. These are done through dimension analysis. Now, see, in your final exam, when dimension analysis questions will be there, by that time, you will be remembering the formula by yourself, right? By that time, you will be familiar with all the formula because lesson must be over. So for that time, you will be able to write the formula by yourself and get the solution. But till the time now we are practicing this first lesson, I'll be giving you the formula, question will be providing you the formula in the first lesson, right? When we are dealing with this. So formula will be given. Using the formula, you can form the dimension analysis that I'll tell you right now. Apart from this, but in your final exam, just remember this and have this in your mind that formulas will not be given. Because by that time, those formula will be covered in class 11. If any formula is there that is a part of class 12th, that will be given separately. All right. So do not worry if any question, if you find the formula is not given. It's just because at the end of the session, you already remember all the formulas. Now, starting with dimensional analysis and this physical world and measurement, you have a concept of physical quantities. So what is meant by physical quantities? Physical quantities are those quantities that can be measured in any form. Suppose I tell you your height, you can measure your height. If I tell you your weight, you can, using any instrument, you can tell me your weight. Even if I give you this pen and I ask you what is the length of this paper, so what you're going to do, you're going to take a scale, whatever is the amount, you're going to tell me. That's it. That's how what you're going to put. So length, height, mass, what's the time right now? You can check the clock and let me know what's the time. So time, all these quantities, these are physical quantities. But when we come to the terms like honesty, truthfulness, all these you cannot measure these. So these aren't physical quantities. Some quantity that has its existence and can be measured is called physical quantities. Now, among this physical quantity, let me show you the slides. All right, so physical quantities can be described into two parts. One are the fundamental quantities. I'll give you sufficient time to note it down. Do not worry about that. So fundamental quantities are there.
Yeah.
And now, see, regarding fundamental quantities are the basic quantities that are already present in nature, right? They are already present in nature. Derived quantities, these quantities are formed. Fine, these quantities, these are formed because of the presence of other quantities. So fundamentals are, certain fundamental quantities are there. Let's say length is there, let's say time is there. When you put a mathematical operation into it, let's say division, addition, subtraction, any mathematical operation you're putting it. So length divided by time, that will give me a new quantity, which is velocity. Distance divided by time is giving me velocity. So velocity is a new quantity that is formed by using fundamental quantities. So this is derived quantity. That's how simple ways to remember is basic quantities are fundamental quantities. Their derived form is derived quantities. Now, certain fundamental quantities for the formulation of dimensional analysis, you should remember this. All right. For the few quantities which you have to remember, that won't be prescribed to you, that won't be given to you. Just do one thing, just write down this part, then I'll start with fundamental quantity. Just write down this part.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Done.
Done. Now see regarding the fundamental quantities. So basically you have 7 fundamental quantities, and along with these 7 fundamental quantities, you have 2 additional supplementary quantities. All these quantities you are already aware of. And yes, Eva, see in your school, what is the current lesson that is going in physics?
Ma'am, we are in the second chapter, units and measurement, and yeah, we have covered these topics.
All right, fine, good. So see, do not worry about the syllabus part, since this is your first class already. That's why also I'm going slow. Otherwise, also without that, in your summer vacations also, while the summer vacations will be going, in which place are you residing?
Kerala.
Kerala. All right. So when summer vacations will be there, we'll be having classes here as well, right? So syllabus will be managed. So do not worry about that part. And also one more thing, this lesson is very easy. The upcoming lessons in comparison, this is not actual representation of your class 11 physics. Motion in 1D, motion in 2D, all the kinematics in your mechanics, these are a little difficult. So these are the basic fundamental quantities. All right. So in the SI system, 7 fundamental quantities. Just remember those, how to represent it. All right.
Okay.
So these are the 7 fundamental quantities. What you have to remember, among this, you have to remember the basic formula. Fine. How to represent it using the formulas. For example, mass into velocity somewhere is used, mass into length is used, any formula is used. So Harsha has already attended this class. Harsha, did you revise it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So mass is represented through capital M within the brackets, length by L, time by T, temperature as theta or Kelvin, current as ampere, luminous intensity and amount of substance. These are actually not used by you in class 11. Majorly you use till electric current only. And most of the questions will be solved using mass, length and time. SI units you should remember, because SI unit are very basic. That will help you to remember it throughout only. So this, what you can do, Feba, you can take the screenshot of this page.
Okay.
Okay, because Harsha has already written all these points.
Yeah, ma'am.
All right. Now, 2 quantities are there, which are supplementary quantities. If both the axes are making in 2 dimension, if the axes are subtending and are forming an angle, the way I make an angle on the screen, you make an angle on a page, where angle is formed in 2 dimensions just by intersection of 2 axes, that is known as plane angle, and its SI unit is radian. But the other supplementary quantity is solid angle. So this we had discussed also. This is if I give you a cone. If I give you a cone, in the cone there will be an angle that is getting subtended by the curved surface area. So that 3-dimensional angle that we are getting, that 3-dimensional angle, that is known as solid angle. So 2-dimensional angle, when we simply intersect 2 lines and draw, it is 2D. And when the angle is actually 3D, having all the 3 dimensions, length, breadth, height, so that is solid angle. And SI unit of plane angle is radian. SI unit of solid angle, just add these 3 letters, STE, stir radian. Fine?
Yes.
Do one thing.
No, we in school we have already like the same. I think the notes are the same. Same thing I've written.
The same. Well, just take a screenshot by the same, because you should have the notebook separated, because syllabus, it can happen. Some lessons are different. They are going here. The lessons are different. So just for the sake, just take a screenshot. You can note it. At least you should have all the notes together. All right.
Okay.
Since the syllabus is same, so whatever is written here as well, that in your school main register there, it will also be seen. So derived, I have discussed it with you. Yes, this is how we were discussing yesterday. So some more quantities we'll add into our list today. Now, area, length into breadth. Length, dimension is L. Breadth is also a form of distance, length only. That will also be L. So formula becomes L square. Since mass is 0, time is 0, the entire formula can be written as M0, L0, T0. This is how dimensional formula works. Suppose volume, one more quantity gets added. So L, 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 that becomes L cube, right? So M0, L cube, T0, right? This is how you just form the dimension. Whatever is given, whatever formulas are given, like we were discussing till here, no, some of the quantities were left. See, suppose length, this is distance, speed. Let's just revise speed. Speed is what? Distance divided by time. So length divided by time. L, T divided by T. So T will go up, that will become -1. So L T to the power -1. This is what is speed. Now acceleration. Acceleration is velocity by time. Now you all shouldn't worry about how velocity by time is written, how distance by time is written. This is not your concern right now when you are discussing first lesson. You will be having separate entire lessons on these formulas. So you will automatically remember all the formulas at the end of the session. Right? Suppose we discussed one more quantity, that was momentum. So momentum was mass multiplied by velocity. So what did we do? Mass is m1, velocity is L to the power 1, T to the power -1. So we are just multiplying these quantities. So m1, L1, T to the power -1. That's it. All right. Now, some other quantities also. Force. See, force. What is meant by force? Force is basically mass into acceleration. So how to solve this? Mass is m1, right? Acceleration we have calculated using velocity divided by time, that is L1 T to the power -2. This is going to be L1 T to the power -2 together. So M L T to the power -2. So I would suggest you at least few basic quantities till this part, till pressure, I think. Till pressure. Just remember the quantities dimensional formula, try to remember it. At least velocity, acceleration, and one or two. Because now see, suppose force was asked, mass into acceleration, mass into acceleration. So acceleration, if I do not remember acceleration, what would I do? I'll multiply it, right? I'll multiply it first. I'll divide velocity by time first. To get velocity, I'll divide distance by time. So many steps will be there. So it's better instead you just remember the formula directly, mark it, and at the end, so that acceleration, velocity, these two, and I think force also, this one, MLT to the power -2. If you remember these three, work done. Pressure you can leave, but till work done, these 6 quantities, just remember it as it. Not only 6, 5 quantities. First one was the length, distance. Just remember these 5 quantities, your calculation work will become very easier when you have. Now let's say force into displacement. This work done formula which we are getting, this will be exactly same for all sort of energies. Potential energy is asked, kinetic energy is asked, whatever type of energy is asked. So what is force? Force is MLT to the power -2. What is distance? Displacement? Displacement is L. Just multiply. L and L will get multiplied. That becomes ML square T to the power -2. That's it. One more thing, class, I forgot to tell you the SI unit of it, force. Force's SI unit is Newton. And its CGS unit is dyne. So when this is work done or any sort of energy, I'm again telling you this formula, no, this will be for all types of energy. So if you just remember this formula, all the formulas of energy will be solved. So this becomes joule. This is erg. CGS unit is erg. So SI unit is joule. Last quantity that I'll be discussing before the break is force by area, that is pressure. So force, that's why I told you. See, if you remember force, what will happen in such questions? You will directly write down this formula, MLT to the power -2 divided by area. Area is length into length into breadth. 2 times length, that is L square. So what will happen? 1L will cancel the square, right? 2L are here and 1L is there. And this L will now go up. So M, L to the power minus 1, T to the power minus 2. That's it. And how to write the SI unit? Whatever is the SI unit of individual quantities, write it as it is and just put in the mathematical operations. For example, like force, this is Newton. Per unit area is meter square. CGS unit for force, this is dyne. So that becomes dyne per centimeter square. Like this, whatever formula is given to you, that you can make it and solve it by yourself. Again, this point is very important. Work done and types of energies have that same dimensional formula, that is ml square t to the power minus 2. Fine, work done and all the types of energy. So what you can do in dimensional formula, the chapter is divided into 3 parts. First part is just making and writing the dimensional formula. Second part of this chapter involves formulas, finding out the formulas. Like if a formula is given, right hand side and left hand side, you will be equating it. That will also be done. This is just the basic part. You will be just using it. So just practice this and that will be enough. Fine. So any quantity is there, you just require its formula. Formula is done, put in the dimensions, get dimensional formula. Apart from this class, SI unit is also asked to you. Most of the times, SI unit is also asked. So for SI unit, what do you do? For SI unit also, same things. Whatever quantity is given to you, whichever quantity, take that quantity, take its SI unit, and whatever is the mathematical operation put into it, just put in as it is. For example, force per unit area. So Newton per meter square. Though we have one more special SI unit for pressure, that is pascals. But still, we will do this pressure when we'll jump into the lesson mechanical properties of fluids. There you will study this in detail. All right. So this is what you should just remember: force, pressure, and from this distance is just length. So these 5 quantities: speed, acceleration, momentum, force, work done, pressure. Pressure also you can make it by yourself. These 5 quantities, these are sufficient. Just to start noting it down. Class, one more thing. I have to leave for opening my fast just for today. I think this will be the last day with your batch that I'll have to take a break. Afterwards, from the next class, after Eid, we do not have rosas over here. So just I have to open up my fast and I have to offer the prayer. I'll just come back in 10 minutes. Someone will scroll the page down for you. Till that time, just copy. And one question is there after it. Try it by yourself. I'll come after 10 minutes. I'll discuss it. This is just for today, because from your next class onwards, there won't be any breakage in the class. All right, class.
Okay.
Yes, class and back. I'm sorry you had to wait today. So yes, suppose in this question, F is equal to G, M1, M2 by R square is given. You have to find out the formula for G. So again, after the end of the session, in gravitational lesson, this formula, you'll be able to remember it by yourself. Now,
Ma'am, ma'am, do you like in the above phrase it is written work done on different types of energies, potential and kinetic energy, right?
yes, yes. This, no? All types of energies.
Okay.
See, all types of energies, no, you just do not have kinetic energy and potential energy in your system. There are lots of energies present. All right, gravitational energy will be there, gravitational potential energy will be there, electrostatic potential energy will be there, electric energy will be there, internal energy of the system will be there, right? So all the types of energies, you will use the same dimensional formula. Fine. Regarding what type of energy is there, that you have separate lesson, work energy in part. So there you'll see the detail of kinetic energy and potential energy mainly. All right, Vibha.
Okay, ma'am.
So see the way here we have to find out. So F is equal to G M1 M2 divided by R squared. So we have to find out G. Let's write G. From here, G will be equal to F R square divided by M1 into M2. That's how we are going to write it, M1 into M2. Now, force. I have told you, always remember the dimensional formula for force because this is a very basic formula. Otherwise, you will have to derive it. So you know how to write it. Mass into acceleration. Acceleration, you can write velocity by time. Velocity, you can write distance by time. So instead of going by all of these, just write down this part only. That is sufficient. Then radius square, that will be distance square, so L square. Mass 1 will be M, mass 2 will be M. So now see, one mass will cancel this mass, right? What is left? This mass is left. So this mass will go up because power is here 1. So it will go up, that will become M to the power minus 1. What happens to L? Here already 1 is there, here 2 is there. So L cube, right? L into L square will give L cube. And what about time? Time is T to the power minus 2. So this is the formula for G that you have to write. Quickly just note it down. Yes, just try with this question. Let me know what this is coming. This is eta. F is equal to eta A dV over dx. So I have just told you how to solve these questions. At least try whatever answer you're getting. Send me in the chat box. Then I'll discuss.
Ma'am, for thickness, should we use the formula for area?
Yes, the formula for area. And velocity also, you must have written it somewhere. Thickness, you relate it with length. Because how do you measure thickness of something? By meters and centimeters in length only? Use that. And force you already know. Just you have to divide and multiply. That's it. Yes, Harsha. Correct. See how you have to try all these. Whatever is the unknown quantity, keep it on one side, and whatever are left, just bring it to the opposite side. Yes, correct. Feba is right. Harsha, slight error. Now I'm noticing just one slight error. I'll show you. See, just check in the typing if there's a typing mistake or this is what you were trying to write. F is eta a dv over dx, right? Keep this symbol eta here. This you will study in thermal physics, so do not worry about it. This is force into dx divided by area into dv. Now force again mlt to the power minus 2. I think by practicing only you will remember all of these. Dx is length, area is L square, and velocity is Lt to the power minus 1. right? So this length will get cancelled. This length and this length, one more length will get cancelled. So what all things are left? From here, mass is left. From here, L length is left. Yes, this is in the denominator. So it will become -1 because here it's in the denominator. And what about time? This will go up and become 1. So t to the power 1 into t to the power -2. 1 minus 2 is minus. So ml -1 t to the power -1. Clear? Just note it down. So I'll do one thing. Let me stop here today only, because this is the basic thing that we have completed. From the next class, see, since we'll be having continuous class, I won't be needing to leave in between also. A proper 1 hour we'll have. We'll complete what we'll do. We'll complete the rest of the formulas only, so that in the form of questions, in the form of tables, so that in one place you have all the tables with you. All right, this is what we are going to do. So just note it down and text me done in the chat column once completed.